In this video, we'll take a look at color separating this vintage looking kind of sepia tone affected image. I'm sure it went through some filters in Photoshop or something like that. And we're going to start out by doing some color analysis to see what we'll be dealing with as far as color is concerned. I'm going to go to the channels view and I'll pull this black back. I'll turn it off. See, I've got a really light orange and some yellow in here, and that's going to be very small halftone dots, so we'll definitely want to make some adjustments to the grayscale density of the color separations and the color to get better halftones to print with, which will be very easy to do working in accepts. And this color is really faint orange, and there's some yellow in here, and we're going to bring this down as far as we can in color. So we're going to drop the yellow because there's very little green in here, and we can discuss that with our clients. If you've got a picky client, go with a 12 color and keep the yellow, but we'll drop that in this separation. I'm going to go back to the split view, go back to the black, turn that on, go to the original. Now looking at this, and we look at our color chart, we can see that our color is really all down here in the orange. It's in the tints and in the tones of the orange, and that's what we'll be working with. So we've got really light color and we've got really low color density, so we're going to want to be dealing with some changes to the density of the color and the color, so we've got some custom colors and some better halftones to print with. To start out, I'll go to the magenta, I'll delete that, I'll go to the blue, delete that, cyan, delete that, green, delete that, it's not there. Go up to the yellow, extremely faint, that's going to be really small halftones. Go to the red, extremely faint, going to be very small halftones. Don't really want to print with those. Go to my yellow, go to merge, and I'll go to the red, and then we'll change this to an orange, and we'll look at the original, and we can see that we've got that. For the most part, we might want to bring some yellow into that. So I'll come over here, I'll go to the color picker, left click, and bring just a little yellow in there, and go back to my original. There we have the match. But now I'm going to change the density. So I'm going to go and I'll turn this off so you can see this. Here's the grayscale density of that color separation. I'm going to bring that saturation up quite a bit. And I'm actually going to bring it up a little bit down here in the tone curve. Not too much, just a bit, right to about there. Then I'll go back to my original and we can see that effect. But I can go back to that custom color that I made with the orange and a little bit of yellow and bring that back into a tint right about there, let's say. Go to the original, and I'd say we pretty well got that. Now here I've got my black and there's the orange, two colors. You could do it that way if you wanted to. Now if you wanted to bring in a gray, you could bring that in. I'll toggle to include a gray. Then I'm going to go to my gray, I'm going to change that to an orange, but I bring that back to a color that's all the way over here, almost all the way over to the gray, but it's not really a gray. And then look at my original. Now I'm dealing with a tone there, even though we're over towards the gray, it's really an orange tone. Take a look at the original and you can see that. Now if I go to that gray and I look at my color density, I would say that's fine to work with. And you can see the change in the color. It's very slight, but it's a change in the color. So really that's a gray, and you can just add a little bit of orange into the gray and you'll be able to match that color. Because you can see that this is a lot of white and black. There's a lot of gray in here, but there's very little of the red and yellow or the orange, because the red and yellow would make an orange. So for your color matching, you just get some gray and then put in just a tiny bit, a touch of orange, and you get that color matched. And you can see that difference. Go back to the original and then we can see the color separation. So we've adjusted our density, we've adjusted our colors, working with the orange and the tones of the orange and the tints of the orange, and making those adjustments in the gray as a new custom color, and the orange with a little bit of yellow as a new custom color. And we're able to get down to just a 3-color print with the white. Now we didn't have to use the gray. I just wanted to show how you could work with that. You could have actually done this with just the black and the new custom color for the orange, which is a tint of the orange with a little bit of yellow in it. Now we did sacrifice the yellow that makes the green up in here, and you can go over that with your clients and tell them you can bring the color count down depending on what type of color press you have and how many stations you have on the press. And if you wanted to do the yellow, you could have done the separation from the 12 color mode and kept the yellow separate from the orange, and then made the same kind of adjustments to the orange that we made here in this separation, but from the 12 color separations and keeping the yellow. That's all about the clients that you're dealing with or the type of work that you're doing. But I just wanted to take a look at how far we could go down in colors here and then demonstrate working with the gray and making that a custom color as well. So we'll go ahead and wrap here, and we'll see you in our next video.